6 ICE warnings reached Titanic in her final 24 hours. Not one slowed her down. What made 2,000 people so certain they were aboard something that could never sink? In the spring of 1912, belief in Titanic's invincibility spread from boardrooms to breakfast tables. The White Star Line's vice president, Philip Franklin, declared with certainty, "There is no danger that Titanic will sink. The boat is unsinkable, and nothing but inconvenience will be suffered by the passengers." That phrase, echoed in advertisements and news headlines, became a promise as grand as the ship herself. Trade journals like The Shipbuilder described Titanic as practically unsinkable, pointing to her 16 watertight compartments and electric doors that could be sealed at the flip of a switch. Shipbuilders and executives alike leaned on these features, not just as technical marvels, but as selling points for a public fascinated by progress and comfort. Official brochures boasted of Titanic's double bottom and reinforced hull, inviting passengers to imagine themselves aboard a floating fortress. The ship's sheer scale, 882 feet long and 46,000 tons, seemed to defy the dangers of the North Atlantic. As the press amplified each engineering boast, confidence turned into certainty. For many, the idea of disaster felt as remote as the distant horizon. This aura of safety shaped every decision, every assumption, and every moment that followed, blinding even the most experienced travelers and crew to the risks that still lurked ahead. Titanic stretched nearly 3 football fields from bow to stern, 882 feet, 5 inches of steel and ambition. The ship's decks rose higher than most city buildings, with a beam wider than many streets. On board, comfort reached new heights. The first-class swimming pool shimmered with heated water, a rarity at sea. Passengers could stroll past the Turkish bath, peek into the squash court, or step into the gymnasium, where electric horses and cycling machines waited for exercise before dinner. The grand staircase curved beneath a glass dome, its oak and wrought iron gleaming in the afternoon light. In the dining saloon, 400 guests dined under crystal and carved plaster, while the Café Parisien offered French cuisine on a sunlit veranda. Even the telephone system and lending library added to the sense that Titanic was less a ship than a floating city, safe from the unpredictable Atlantic. Every detail, from the barber's shop to the paneled lounges, seemed designed to reassure. The ship's immense size and luxury cast a spell of security, making it easy to forget the cold, open sea just beyond the rail. The illusion was complete. On Titanic, danger felt distant, almost unimaginable. As night settled over the North Atlantic, the air grew colder, but the sea remained eerily calm. So calm that the lookouts later described the water as flat as glass. Throughout April 14th, Titanic's wireless room received 6 separate warnings about ice ahead. The first message from the Caronia arrived at 9 a.m., followed by alerts from the Baltic, America, and Mesaba. Each warning described ice fields and drifting bergs in Titanic's path. Yet the ship pressed on at full speed, and most warnings were logged without urgent action. Jack Phillips, the senior Marconi operator, worked furiously to clear a backlog of passenger telegrams. The wireless crackled with personal messages, news, and the occasional warning from nearby ships. When the Californian radioed at 7:37 p.m. to report they were stopped and surrounded by ice, Phillips, exhausted and under pressure, snapped back, "Shut up! Shut up! I am working Cape Race. Keep out." The message was not passed to the bridge. Minutes later, another warning from the Mesaba, icebergs directly ahead, was logged but never reached the officers in command. On deck, the mood remained relaxed. The Atlantic's surface was so still that it masked any sign of danger. In the ship's log, an officer noted the remarkable calm. With each missed warning, the line between safety and disaster grew thinner. Seconds before midnight, a lookout spotted a shape looming in the darkness and rang the bell 3 times. Frederick Fleet's hands shook as he rang the bell 3 times, a warning that traveled from the crow's nest to the bridge in seconds. "Iceberg, right ahead!" The order, hard a starboard, came sharp and fast. Engines reversed, but the Titanic was too vast, too heavy to turn in time. Steel scraped over ice, tearing open 5 watertight compartments along the starboard bow. The ship began to take on water at an unstoppable rate. Captain Smith, shaken but composed, moved quickly. He ordered the lifeboats uncovered and the crew to rouse passengers. Margaret Brown, later known as the unsinkable Molly Brown, remained calm as she gathered women and children, urging them toward the boat deck. Confusion spread as people hesitated, some still in evening clothes, others clutching life jackets for the first time. The band played on, their music drifting above the rising panic. There were 20 lifeboats, enough for just over half the people on board. Some boats launched with only a handful inside, the crew afraid to lower them fully loaded. First-class passengers reached the deck first, while many third-class families struggled through locked gates and crowded corridors. The numbers told a grim story. 62% of first class survived, but only a quarter of those in third class. As the minutes passed, boats pulled away half empty, leaving hundreds behind on the tilting deck. The system designed for order had become a tragedy measured in lives lost and chances missed. More than a century later, blind faith in progress still tempts disaster. The Titanic's lesson endures. Confidence without caution can sink even the greatest dreams. What would you have done?